Animation is hard and it's extremely difficult to learn because, well, when you're starting animation, you don't know what to do, you have no idea how to do it, and neither do I, and neither do the majority of the people on the planet who are starting animation. The only people that do know are people that have actually been in the same position as you are, where you have no idea how to animate or what to do with animation. So they practice and they actually got good at animations and they know what to do, And some of these people decide to build a career on YouTube, like they grow many followers, their animations get seen by lots of people, they grow a community, and they get lots of subscribers. And they spent years on the platform animating and eventually got better with their animation because they learn over time, obviously. And even though they know how to do it, not a lot of them really say how to actually animate. I mean, they can if you ask them, but they're not gonna really make a video about how to animate and be a Storytime animator, except for that one. So that's why in this video I've contacted over a dozen Storytime animators and I asked them a few questions about them and also about animation and how to do it, and what would they recommend to do with animation and all sorts of stuff like that. And the people that I've contacted are Scrupula with 6,000 subscribers, That Guy John with 8,000 subscribers, My Opinion Animations with 9,000 subscribers, Nate Ziller with 19,000 subscribers, L Garbage with 21,000 subscribers, and Amber vs. the Dark with 46,000 subscribers at the time of filming this video. Now, like I said, there were a dozen other people that I've messaged, but those were the people that responded, so yeah. Also, I just want to say quickly, by the way, these people were extremely nice when messaging me. They answered all my questions, they were super respectful. Amber vs. the Dark was extremely nice and was extremely respectful and actually wanted to help me with animation. Which, if you're watching this, thank you so much. And thank you to all the other animators that actually reached back and responded to all my questions. All their links will be in the description below because they do make awesome animations that I recommend you go watch. Because I love watching these creators. They make awesome content, and I just want to see them make more. But without further ado, let's get to the Q&A with them, by which I ask the Q's and they give me A's. No, A's, what? The question and answer portion of it. Let's get into that right now. Animator interview. Now, before I start, I just want to state one thing, and that is that animators have different styles. Obviously, some animators can have really smooth animations, some can be animatic animators, some of them are even storytime animators. One of them is a skit animator, which I personally enjoy, kind of. One of them is black and white. Some of them have really good looking animations, and a lot of them could look very basic, but you love it. I love it. So take everything you hear with your own opinion. So, like I said in the beginning, I asked 6 questions. The first one I asked was, how long does it take you to make an average long form video? Opinion Animations, Zach, and That Guy John says a month to a few months, or a few weeks. And El Garbage says a few weeks. Amber and Scrupula both says in between a few days to a week, which is fair. Like I said, not all content that they make are going to be like the exact same. They're different with their different styles. But yeah, it usually takes around a few weeks, 2 months, or if you want to make a simple animation, a few days. The second question I asked was, what would you recommend to new animators starting animation for the first time? Now, Amber and That Guy John both suggested to practice the principles of animation, and they both even recommended a video for us to watch. So I will be linking those videos down below so that you can check them out for yourself, so you can also learn if you want to. Zach said to draw a lot, draw cartoons. I assume so that you can, practice and get better with your animation. Al Garbage said to watch tutorials on YouTube, which is fair. And Opinion Animation said to just start animating, be patient, and be proud of what you make. Which I don't agree with that. That is completely fair, and I agree. And Scuba gave me nothing, but that's fine. Now, the third question I asked was, what is your goal for making these type of videos? Is it just for entertainment, or do you want it to be a full-time job? And as expected, a lot of people said that they want it to be a full-time job, but they can't really do it as a full-time job right now. So as of right now, it's just for entertainment, which is fair. Although that guy John just said it's just for entertainment. So, hey, but that's fine. Okay, I love watching his videos. So, yeah. The fourth question I asked was, what is the easiest and hardest part of creating animation? Because I'm just kind of curious, because it can vary from different people. Because, like I said, people have different animation styles, the way they want to animate. And the easy part about animation is what you can expect, like the ideas, the script. One person, John, that guy John, said the easiest type of animation is stretch animation, which, okay, I don't disagree with that. One person even said that it's drawing that's the easy part. That was Amber who said that, because she posts a lot of shorts, so I would see why. And the hard part, as you can expect, is animating, obviously. The fifth question is, what type of animation software do you use, and what would you recommend for other people to use? Now, you usually expect people to use like Adobe Animate and Clip, but there's some people also recommend to use Clip and Squid Tunes. But Zach uses Adobe Animate, some Flip Studio Paint, and a little bit of Blender, which I get. If you've seen his stuff, you kind of get that a little bit if you know what apps he uses. It's kind of complicated a little bit, okay. And for the last question I asked was, would you say what you're doing is more or less harder than working a normal job? Now, Amber, Opinion Animation, and Zach both said that they're harder than a normal job, while that guy John and El Garbage said that they're either in between or really just kind of depends. And hold on, what's your name again? Scuaba says no. But yeah, those are all the questions I asked for them. It was mostly just kind of for them, just because I was interested. But some of it was for just animation tips. So yeah, again, everyone who reached back out and answered all my questions, thank you so much. But now, after all this, what have we learned? Well, firstly, we know that if you're starting animation, it's going to take a while to make. So make sure you have some free time so that like, when you have time to do so. We know that a bunch of animators I talked to want to do this as a full-time job, but as of right now, they're doing it for entertainment. We've also now know some tips of, well, how to animate, kind of how to get better at animation. We also know what other animators use to animate. And we now know what they would recommend to new animators animating, which is Toon Squid and Clip. We now know that if you're starting animation, that it's easy to come up with things like the idea, the script, and other stuff like that, but actually it's really hard to do the animation itself. And lastly, we now know that a lot of these animators, well, these animations can take a while, and for a lot of cases, it can be harder than working a normal job, which, But it also just kind of depends on what kind of animation you're doing and how you're doing it. So, that's what we learned. And I hope you take that, and I hope you use it to make great animations if you do want to animate. Thank you so much for watching this video. This has been in the works for 1 to 2 weeks, just because of the messaging and figure out what I want to say and do. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day, have a great time, and goodbye. I got a YouTube sticker. That's cool.